men told me I should create a mold at home and have a craft afternoon. And it was a lot. It
I
was a
had to
lot.
roll my eyes at that one.
We were turned away so much. Like, it was a real test of perseverance.
Have you ever had someone in your career call you just a hairdresser? Or sometimes you might struggle with your own internal dialogue? Welcome to the Beauty Grail podcast, the place where the industry's most curious, ambitious, and creative artists come to learn, grow, and stay inspired. I'm Ali, founder of the Beauty Grail, and in each episode, we sit down with the artists, educators, and innovators shaping the future of the hair and beauty industry. From behind the chair to behind the brand, these are the stories, tools, and conversations designed to elevate you and your career. Because we all know you're not just a hairdresser. You're a business owner, a creative, an educator, a therapist, a content creator, and a chemist. The name of this podcast was inspired by our friend Natalie Ann. Some of you may remember she kicked off a social media series in 2025 called Not Just a Hairdresser. One of the biggest drivers behind creating the Beauty Grail was recognizing that the industry has world-level talent, but not everyone has equal access to learning from them. What excites me is giving every hairdresser from regional towns to big cities access to the kind of education and mentorship that changes careers. Joining me today is Mackenzie Hayward, founder of Attache Line. After 10 years in the hair industry, Mackenzie set out to make her life easier whilst colouring at the basin. The dream was to design a highly functional basin tool, purpose-engineered to streamline basin experience. Attache Line is engineered, designed, and manufactured right here in Australia, and a global sellout product many times over. Welcome to the podcast, babe.
Thank you for having me. What an intro. Gorgeous.
I love to be a big hype girl for the intro.
I love it. It's beautiful. Thanks, babe.
Now, you've been in town for mainland, activating Attache. Well done. The stand looked insane.
Thank you. Yeah, it was gorgeous. We're really happy with it.
Yeah, beautiful. Now, for anyone that doesn't know you or your story, can you please tell us how you got started in the industry and how you went from behind the chair to the idea of Attache?
Absolutely. So I was a classic creative in school that wasn't really doing so well with the education. And then we actually relocated from Sydney to Perth when I was 15. And I had to skip a year because our year groups were different. And my careers teacher and the person helping me with subjects was like, well, you can't do any ATAR, I think called ATAR in Perth, because you've skipped a year. So what do you want to do? And I was like, well, not this. I think I want to be a hairdresser. And she was like, okay, well, we'll pick some subjects and go from there. And then she actually got me my first job as a hairdresser. And she was like, I've got this salon that has some weekend work, which I jumped at. And then after one term, they offered me an apprenticeship. I was 15. And when I was 16, I signed my apprenticeship papers. So that's how I got into the industry. And then from there, I've worked in a few really amazing salons. I've had lots of brilliant opportunities. My last salon was just my really good friend Jake and I. And yeah, we had no apprentices. We had no staff to help at the basin. And I just thought, there has to be a better way. Like, we have to streamline this. There has to be something out there to make basin life easier. And I searched high and low and couldn't find it. So that's where the Attache Line was born. I made it myself.
I love that.
Yeah.
So how long ago was it that you had that spark of the idea?
So
of
the
Attache?
first time the idea came to my mind was probably about 6 years ago.
You're right.
And I kind of did some online research and then was like, nothing there. Thought about maybe making it myself. I was like, too hard. And at that salon, we had lots of room around us to balance bowls and colour and things like that. And then when I moved to ESOM, being just the two of us, beautiful, beautiful minimalistic salon, there wasn't anywhere to do that. And I was telling Jake, I had this idea years ago. Maybe someone's made something now. No, they haven't. And he was like, well, you should do it. And I was like, no. And he was like, yeah, you should. Like, why not? And then, the ball started rolling from there. It was actually really thanks to his encouragement that idea from 5 or 6 years prior was pushed to go further.
Yeah.
So, it was really
So what
cool.
made you take the leap? Because 6 years ago...
Definitely a different area of my life. I had a
Mm.
lot more, I guess, confidence in myself and my abilities, but also my beautiful partner, my wife, Rebecca. She was really, really supportive. And it was actually her brother in law. He's an engineer and he engineered the product for us. So he worked with us for 2 years to make it perfect. And I think without her support, her brother in law, Corey's support, and my good friend Jake, like it wouldn't have got there without them really
Mm.
pushing me to go for it. So, yeah, I
Mm.
was really lucky to have people
That
around me
support
that
system.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So 6 years ago, you first had the idea at the basin.
Mhm.
What was that timing wise from the original idea to actually start saying, I need to give this a crack?
Yeah. So for me, I was just like so focused on behind the chair and the client.
Mm.
I never really had like a bigger picture. I didn't have a social media presence. I never had a want to be on social media. I've had a massive weight loss journey. So back then I was 130 kilos. So quite different. I definitely didn't want to be on camera. I definitely didn't want my name or face
Mm.
behind things. I just liked the personal experience of me and the client behind the chair. So the thought of creating something that had my name and my face on it just felt really uncomfortable. And then in that period of time, I lost a substantial amount of weight. I built my confidence. And still, there's like that massive blockage there with like wanting to be on camera and making
Mm.
that transition. But yeah, I just knew if no one had done it in that time, like, I need to do it
Mm.
and I'm gonna do it. So at the beginning, I was like, it'll be a faceless brand. And then everyone was like, you cannot do that.
Yes, yes.
So here we are.
So how old is Attache now then?
Attache is 2 years old, so we're still a
So
baby.
yeah, so it
Yeah.
sounds like based off that timeline, 6 years ago was the original idea. So it
Yeah.
took you, not saying it's a long or short time, but it was about
Yeah.
2 years from idea
Yes.
to execution.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And where did the weight loss journey fit into that timeframe?
So the weight loss journey would have started about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So, and then it's still a journey. It's always a journey for me. I
Yeah.
think when you've been there, it's really, really hard to shake it. And, my whole life I had weight issues. So for me, I actually had a bariatric surgery. I had sleep surgery 5
Mhm.
years ago. And then, yeah, I lost about 45 kilos from that and then have continued to like grind and really like make health a priority, mainly because our industry, we're on our feet all day. So, like, your body is really, really important.
Mm.
And where I went wrong was I started in this industry at 15 and I did not prioritize myself at all, at all. So, you'd have days where you maybe ate lunch at 11 a.m. or maybe you had it at 5 p.m.
Mm.
And by that time, you're grabbing whatever you can get easy. So now I just do not have that standard at all. Like I eat 5 times a day, I meal prep, I make sure that I'm nourishing my body. It's so important. I hate the laugh and the joke in our industry about like, all I had today was 17 coffees and nothing, and
And
some
5
dust.
biscuits. Yeah.
And here I am at 11 p.m. because it's just so unhealthy. And
Mm.
my body was like, I have a back injury, I had problems with the knees, blah, blah, blah. So for me, the health journey started to be able to have like longevity in our
Mm.
industry. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you think that played a part at all in your confidence to move forward with Attache at the time?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely. Like when I first thought of it, not a chance. Not a chance I was going to do something like that. Even when I started making Attache, like I said, it's a faceless brand. Like I'm not putting my face on that. Even my personal hair, like Mackenzie Taylor hair, I was like, not filming content there, absolutely
Mm.
not.
Mm.
So yeah, the journey has definitely been, and especially the Attache line has pushed me out of my comfort zone to put face to camera.
Mm.
And I would not have done that
Mm.
6 years ago. Not
Yeah.
a chance.
I'm laughing behind the faceless brand thing because I felt very much the same. It's a hard relate for me.
Yes.
With the Beauty Girl, I very much thought I could do the same. When I started the Beauty Girl, I had a 2-year-old, I was
Yeah.
carrying baby weight, all of those things.
Mhm.
And, yeah, it's a hard relate for me because I just felt exactly the same. And there were so many people that said to me, and Natalie Ann was one of those people,
Yeah.
Where sometimes you just need to hear something you already know from someone that's willing
Yeah,
to give
different
it to you hard
perspective.
and fast.
Yeah, which I'm sure Nat does
Yes,
well.
which she very much does. And she literally said to me, because she called me out on it, and she said to me, listen, people buy from people.
Mhm. I've
That's
heard that so
yeah.
many times.
That's the way the world has always worked,
Mm,
and even more so now with social media. So you need to get over that pretty quickly,
mhm.
if you really want to drive your brand
Yeah,
forward.
absolutely. I think
Mm.
that there would be a lot of people that relate to that, especially like there's an immense pressure in all industries now to show up online. And I think there'd be more people than we know that are uncomfortable with that concept and would
Mm.
prefer to be behind the camera, not in front of it.
Yeah,
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 yeah, for sure.
yeah. I want to talk about that a bit more. So, what are some of these things you've done with Attache
Mhm.
specifically around showing up in a way that's comfortable for you?
So, I guess what's comfortable for me is that I am authentically myself if I'm showing up for my brand. Like
Mm.
I'm not going to put on a persona or be something I'm not. I think that just puts pressure if you're a personality online and then a different person in face to face. I just think it puts so much pressure on you to maintain these different versions
Mm.
of yourself. So it's really important to me that I just stay true to myself. I like my wife by my side at times when doing things. I always wanted her by my side in the early days, and now
Mm.
like I'm here in Sydney with you by myself. So that's
Yeah,
huge for
yeah.
me. But yeah, just little things like that and working with people that make me feel really comfortable as well.
Mm.
Like, like yourself, like we can just have a beautiful conversation day in, day out, and there's no pressure there. So there's no
Mm.
pressure to be anything but me. And
Mm.
that's what keeps me comfortable and happy for sure.
Yeah. With Timely, you can say goodbye to time-consuming business admin. Its easy-to-use booking software means it's easy for your clients to organise, check and reschedule appointments without needing to pick up the phone. Send automatic appointment confirmations, reminders and consultation forms to reduce no-shows. And with Timely Pay, you can take online and in-salon payments without any stress, so you're always in control of your cash flow. Use the business dashboard to get in-depth insights into everything from stock levels to staff performance. Get all this and more for a monthly payment with no hidden costs or unexpected charges. Simply choose the best plan for you and start having more good days at work. We've proudly partnered with Timely to give new customers 50% off for 3 months. Visit gettimely.com and use the code TBG when you sign up. The last few weeks you've been posting a bit of like founder talk on Attache, and
Yeah.
I've actually really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I feel like that is authentic to you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. That was one of my beautiful, beautiful clients in the salon
Mm.
was like, girl, you need more founder action. And she actually really encouraged me to do that. So yeah, thanks,
Well,
Nina.
congrats to you, 'cause it's I love it. It's
Thank you,
beautiful.
babe. Thank you.
So we talked about that kind of timeline. 6 years ago, you had the idea. Attache was born 2 years ago. So there's about a 4-year
Mhm.
period there. You've got a great network around you. It sounds like you got a beautiful hype team. But was there something else that you saw happen in the industry where you like the industry really needs this, other than no one else producing the product? Were there any other kind of like light bulb moments?
Yeah, I'm really glad you asked that actually, because absolutely, I think we've all seen a big shift in our industry. A lot of people are going out on their own.
Mm.
Also, we're charging high end prices for hair now, as we should. We've undercharged in our industry and we've been underpaid for a long time. So we are delivering premium hair, and most of us are doing our whole service from start to finish. So myself, I do no one else touches my client. Everything's me. So if they're paying for a toner, they're paying me for a toner.
Mm.
And I thought, so many people are doing that now. You don't have an apprentice holding your bowl. You don't have them, balancing around. And I certainly don't want a bowl and a bottle clanging around at my basin's head when they're paying me a really premium price. So I thought, what a better time to create something like this when people are working solo. They need something that's going to help them to be able to create freely, hold all their tools at the basin, and also just like aesthetically make it look much nicer for our client as well.
Mm.
Yeah, so that was definitely the change. Our freelancers, rent a
That
space.
shift, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And would you say that's your, like, ideal customer that you're
Yeah.
servicing? Yeah.
Yeah. I would say freelancers are our ideal customer. I would also say your everyday conventional fully staffed salon is our everyday customer because there's no reason why an apprentice wouldn't benefit from using
Yeah.
the Attache tray as well.
Yeah.
Make their life easier from the get-go.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, set
also,
the
like,
standard.
yeah, whether it's that one-to-one service that you're
Mm.
talking about that's happening a lot in that freelance space, even like those large format salons, like, they got a lot of staff, they got a
Mhm.
lot of product, they got a
Mhm.
lot of bowls, there's a lot happening, there's a lot
Yeah.
of moving parts.
In those bigger salons, you actually often see, like, a junior stylist standing by a basin holding a bowl,
Mm,
and how, like, discriminating for them to that, like, they're standing there holding your bowl, like, and also what a waste of a human that could
mm,
be on the floor or, I'd rather have a junior shadowing me, watching me do hair and
colour
learning
application,
than
yeah.
standing there holding a
Mm,
bowl.
mm,
So, it puts a person back on the floor
yeah.
or, even with your apprentice, even with your junior, they're not then having to try and contort their bodies around the bowl, reach behind them to grab their color. It's just a lot
Mm,
better for
mm.
everyone. Yeah.
I also think speaking from a client experience, like the basin, like the wash, the deep scalp, the scrub,
Yeah.
like for me going to the salon, apart from like getting the blow dry and the final reveal, like the basin is actually my favorite part of the
Yeah.
whole
You and everybody
experience.
else.
So, like from a client point of view, it does feel like very luxury when it's executed well. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? When you think
Absolutely.
about like the bowl, like banging around, the
Mm,
water temperature, like how long they spend with you there, like how deep they go with the head, all
mm.
of those
Yeah.
things.
Have you ever had your head like back in a basin bowl and someone's brushing your hair and then they just drop the brush in the
Yeah.
bowl and that like loud and for
Clank.
us, you actually don't really realize until it
Mm,
happens to you. And it's like really like if you're a sensory sensitive person, that could really throw you off your kilter. Like that
mhm,
could take your relaxation away completely. So little things like that we're so accustomed to, just like
mhm,
throwing your tools down in that ceramic bowl, it's actually like quite uncomfortable for your
mm,
guest. Yeah.
mm.
So yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. It definitely does add another layer of luxury to that service.
absolutely. What did Attache look like in the early days? Like, what was the first version versus what it looks like now to
Babe,
use on?
so funny. Like it was honestly like this big.
Was
Like it was
it?
so funny. The first and everything we had to do so many prototypes.
Mm.
So of course you like print it, test it, print it, test it. The first one was like a surfboard. It was like a boogie board. It was so big. And it had like this, it was just a bowl hole. And then it had like this big square, like sort of indented panel on it, which was totally useless. Like, I don't even know what I was thinking with that. And the poor engineer, Corey, it takes like 20 hours to print these things on a 3D printer
Mm.
when you're prototyping. And it would just be like, it would come off and would be like, oh no, that's not it. Like, that's not good. And we did that. I can't even tell you how many times. On top of he lives in Melbourne,
Mm.
we live in WA. So he would then have to ship it to me and I'd test it and be like, oh no, that's not going to work. I actually ended up sending him like multiple basins. His poor office, his poor wife was like full of basins because it was so hard logistically. And he would go into all these local salons in Melbourne and like suss out, do measurements, ask if we could take a cast. I'd be doing the same here. And then eventually I ended up just like buying and sending him different basins and different
Mm.
brands so we
Mm.
could make sure it fit like all the Australian basin brands essentially.
I actually like never thought of the practicalities or the logistics
Yeah.
of that
Yeah.
until you've just said it out loud.
Yeah, I'd be like going into Hairmart with like a bag of like trays and being like trying like different. I don't know if you
Really
have Hairmart here. We
scrappy,
have it in WA.
scrappy things you
Yeah,
do in
yeah,
those
and like
early
clanging
days.
around on the
Yeah,
basins. Like, yeah, it was
yeah.
really funny. But yeah, the difference. It's come such a long way. Like even things like getting it to be able to fit multiple basins, we had to have a swivel on the clip. So we had to like change that so many times to make it right. We had to have multiple clip sizes. Your brush hole, your toner bottle hole, it all just came along the 2-year journey,
Yeah.
basically.
You learn so much in the early days, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really funny what your initial concept feels and looks like compared to where you end up.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there's the practicalities of like the idea in your head versus like what
Executing
comes
it.
to life when you
Yeah.
think about all those operational components. It can be
Yeah.
very, very
So
different.
funny. So
Yeah.
funny.
What were some of the mindset shifts that took you from stylist to product founder?
Oh, that's a good one. I still struggle with it, to be honest. I Being a hairdresser is my life. I love it. Like, I am not an influencer. I am not a online hairdresser. I am a hairdresser behind the chair every day, back to back. And I love my clients and I get instant satisfaction from doing a client. I know they're happy and that makes me so happy. And I get that within an hour in a haircut or 3 to 4 hours with a color. Online retail product based business is so different because the
Mm.
customer experience is really drawn out. So, like, obviously they need to, I think the stats, like, they need to see your product like 17 times
Mm.
before they buy it. So you have to like really push for people to see you. And then they might finally buy it and you have to wait that week for them to experience it. And you kind of, still now, like every order we get, I'm like, oh, I hope they like it. Like, and you get this pit of like unsureness compared to being a stylist, a hairdresser on
Mm.
the floor. Like, I'm sure of myself in that space. In this space, I'm not as sure as myself. So, and even like, yeah, building your relationships. My relationships are with my client now. In this space, I'm building relationships with hairdressers
Mm.
and color brands, and it's just very different. So there's been a big mindset shift. I've had to get tougher. I've had to be more sure of myself. Absolutely, I've had to back myself a lot more. A lot
Mm.
more. Yeah.
Because it is such a different, like that self gratification of
Mm.
like a stylist versus a founder. Just
Mhm.
talking about that timeline, it is so different. So, like, how do you overcome that
Oh,
with Attache? Like, what things are you doing to overcome that?
so a lot of self-talk. Like, I really try to like really talk myself into things. And again, like I said, I have a really beautiful support network who believe in me. And if I'm not believing in myself, I lean on those people for sure.
Mm.
And thankfully, our product has been really well accepted in the industry, and we've had a lot of beautiful positive feedback. And I think as time goes on, like we're only babies, I think that'll build and the confidence will build and it'll come more naturally to me.
Mm.
And every month it does get easier and then it gets harder in other ways too. So
Mm.
it's just like an ever evolving journey, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today's episode is proudly sponsored by Natalie Ann Hair Care. When you've spent years perfecting your craft and educating the industry, you don't just put your name on any product. You create something that reflects everything you stand for. That's exactly what Natalie Ann has done, a professional hair care range built on real expertise, designed for stylists who demand results and clients who expect the best. And her latest launch, the Sleek and Smooth range, a smoothing balm and styling brush made for the flawless slick back styles. No flyaways, no crunch, just polished perfection. Discover the full NA range at natalieann.com. So how does your week, like how are you juggling your week from stylist to Attache, right? Because I think there are a lot of people out there like you that have a product idea
Mhm.
and it's like, how do I get started? Right.
Yeah.
Also, what are some of those tangible things that you did in the early days to get started and how are you structuring your week and like juggling the two? Because
Mhm.
that's not easy.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of grit and determination to build something from the ground up. Like even just talking about the length of engineering
Yeah.
and product trialing that went into just the first product.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you take it back, 2 years ago, what were some of those like day-to-day things that you were doing as you were juggling being on the floor and being a product founder?
Yeah. So back then when I actually launched Attache, I was working for a salon on a salary. So
Mm.
I was working full time and we had a little apartment and we started off in our storeroom and then we grew to our spare room. We got rid of all of our furniture and then we outgrew that. And we were also in the process of wanting to buy another place. So we actually bought in the hills and we bought a place with a massive shed and we turned that into a warehouse,
Mm-hmm.
um, which has streamlined so much for us. But we have to this day, we keep everything in-house. So every touch point is me or Rebecca,
Mhm.
which is full on because I still work full-time, but now I work for myself full-time. So I do have a little bit more like wiggle room to be able to control my timetable and roster in the salon when Attache requires me to be out of the salon. So that does make it easier, but really I work a lot. I work 4 days a week in the salon and I do 11-hour days. So I do long days. And then Tuesday is like my admin day. But before I head to the salon and every morning I pack orders.
Mhm.
And then it's very, very important to me now, 2 years in, I will reply to any communication, be it Mackenzie Taylor Hair or the Attache Line throughout my day at work. But my phone locks at 8 p.m. I have an app that like locks me out of everything and it opens at 8 a.m. So there are 12 hours where I do not get on the comms now because there was a time where I would reply to emails, DMs, anything at any hour. Like it came in, I felt a need to respond straight away. I've put that boundary in and that's been huge for me because to be able to actually log off from both your jobs is so important and you lose that with social media because it used to be you just went to your workplace and you came home, whereas now so much continues online. So that has been a huge boundary that I've had to put in place only recently in this year is when I started doing that. And that's made a massive difference.
Was there something that happened that forced you to make that decision to
My
do that?
wife,
Yeah.
my wife. So there's 11 years between Rebecca and I. She's older than me. And she is just so not on social media. She doesn't get it at all. She understands that social media is what grew Attache. It didn't grow my hairdressing business that was already established. So she gets that, but she's also like very like rigid with boundaries and phone. Like her phone is not glued to her. She'll pick up the phone and make a phone call if she wants to talk to someone. Unlike our generation, we do not do that. And yeah, her means of contacts are like very traditional. So for her, she was like, I can see this. I can see that you are burnt out. You are constantly on. There's no off switch. We need boundaries. And for our relationship, we need boundaries as well because like I'm on the phone responding to clients, responding to customers. She's missing out on her
Yeah.
wife
Yeah.
and being at home in our beautiful place that we created. So yeah, it was super important. But she was the one who raised like, I can see that this is too much. But then obviously it's up to myself to stick to the boundaries.
Yeah.
So, but I am getting very, very good at it now. So,
What app are you using?
it's called Opal and
Okay,
it's
yeah.
really good. It can let you can crack through it.
Yeah.
But they make it hard. Like they make you take a mindful minute and then they make you like maybe do a quiz. It's really random. Like it's like a quiz or a maths equation or something. And by the time you get to that point, you're like, I don't even want to go on it anymore. Put it away. So it's been really effective for me. I know there's other like ones where they like physically really can't get in. I think there's a product called the Brick. And you
Yes,
have
I've
to,
been
like,
getting
touch
a
your
lot of
phone.
those ads and I feel like it's the universe telling me something.
Yeah, honestly, babe, life changing. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I remember we recorded with Sheridan recently from Mama West and we're having a very similar conversation. And there was this reel that I got served recently and it talked about, like being a founder, being an entrepreneur, starting a business from scratch. You do it because you've got a passion for something and you also want to build a better life with more flexibility, like for the long term. And obviously in the early days, that's not the deal.
Yeah.
When you're building
No,
something,
it's
right?
go. Yeah.
But it's important to have those safeguards in place. So it's like the people most important to you in your life, make sure they're getting the best of you.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? Not
Yeah.
the worst of you after a day.
Yeah, they don't deserve that.
Yeah. And I think that particular piece of content I got served up really hit home because we all need that reminder at times. And I think as well, when you have those boundaries in place, you deliver a high level of productivity when you are on.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it actually like compartmentalizes when you should be on and when you should be off rather than being like half in, half out all day long. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. What's something about running a product-based business that you think people completely underestimate?
I think like what we touched on before, just how long the customer experience is drawn out,
Mm.
and how seasonal it is as well. And you just it's really hard to predict. Like in our industry, we know our seasons. We know October, November, December, you're going to be insane.
Mm.
You might die off a little bit in January, and then you're going to kick it all again throughout the year. Whereas product based, I really find it hard to grasp when you're on and when you're off. Like I haven't been able, obviously in your high, like what do you have, Black Friday and
Yeah, yeah.
Boxing Day. Obviously these are going to be really, really
Mm.
high performing times if you do it right. But then throughout the year, I haven't really been able to find a rhyme or rhythm with, you know, when people want to buy and when they don't want to buy. So it's really interesting that with product, it's not as seasonal. It's just when things are good in the world, people are buying.
Mm.
When things are a little bit bad, they're not. So yeah, that's definitely interesting and challenging as well.
Mm.
Mm.
So how are you thinking about that at the moment from like a sales perspective?
From a sales perspective, I think it's like you said, like your founder stories, your marketing, your social media, making sure that you're touching all those points. And if you can invest in someone to do um, meta ads, other things, or show up to events like
Yeah,
Mainland.
activate, yeah.
Yeah, if you can activate, do so. Give people the opportunity to touch and feel your product. If you're not in stores, we're not in stores. We're only e-com. So for someone who may have thought about our product 17 times but not actually seen it in real life, it's a
Mm.
really good opportunity for them to see the physical product, and then that might convert for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how are you thinking about selling? Like, obviously, you're a hairdresser.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you like to be sold to? And how are you thinking about servicing hairdressers,
Yeah.
like your peers in the industry?
Yeah. I service with kindness, and it's really important to me from a customer service background. Um, I'm very much, if I walk into a store and I'm not greeted with a smile or a hello, I don't need you to pander to me, but I think that's off-putting. And I think it's the same with online and customers. If people are wanting to ask questions, if they're wanting to hear from you, I want to give that to them, and I want to give that to them with kindness and clarity and professionalism. So it's really important that I stay true to that in my brand. And that's why I really I like to do the things myself. I like to reply. I would never hire someone to man our DMs, like
Yeah.
that's always me.
Yeah.
I love, love, love to talk to our community. I also really, really love to send our product out to people who are in salon on the floor who maybe can't afford it, or, has constantly messaged, sent praise, asked questions, but I know they haven't purchased. I really like to give back to the community that way, because I was once there. I was a struggling hairdresser without any extra funds, living week to week. So I know what it's like, and I'd much prefer to give back to our community that way,
Mm.
and support our industry than be giving maybe to ambassadors or influencers, which are also do have benefits, and I do also have those relationships. But for me, I really like to give back to the industry and listen to what they want and need
Mm.
through
Yeah.
that
I
avenue.
think there's one thing you can guarantee with the industry is people will always be honest.
Yes. Yeah. It's quite scary. Yeah.
People will always be honest,
Yeah.
which I think is great though,
It's really
because it
good.
helps you. Like the foundation of every great brand is great product.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
100%.
mean? You can have amazing marketing, you can have amazing ambassadors or influencers
Mhm.
and all of those things.
Mhm.
But if you don't have a great product,
What's the
people,
point?
yeah.
Yeah, and that's why, like, for us, we are all Australian made. It's very important to us. We manufacture in WA with a small family business. For me to be able to see our product, pack our product, it's really important. Like,
Mm.
I do not want my product to make it to someone and not be at our standard.
Yeah.
And that's why I did choose to manufacture within Australia.
Mm.
I saw our first ever, we own our machinery, we own our tooling. We use mold injecting. So I saw our first ever tray come out, like
Oh,
our
how
official,
cool is
yeah, yeah.
that?
And we got to see it, feel it, know the whole process from
Mm.
start to finish.
Mm.
So, and getting to that point was hard, but we got there, and I'm really, really glad we stuck to that.
What was it like seeing your first product?
It was amazing.
Did you shed a tear?
I don't think I did. I think I was so, like, ready for it
Mm,
at that point, and yeah, like, it had been nearly 2 years,
mm.
and we, in the beginning, had so much pushback, like, no one wanted to take our money, no one wanted to manufacture for us, but in Australia, 'cause it's so expensive. They were like, "Really?" Like, a lot of people think they have a good idea, like, it's probably not gonna work, like, yeah, and really people a woman said that to me,
Mm.
and then in other occasions, men told me I should create a mold at home and have a crafternoon, and it was a lot, it
I
was a
had to
lot.
roll my eyes at that one.
We were turned away so much, like, it was a real, like, test of perseverance, so
Mm.
seeing that tray come out, I was like, I'm so ready for this now. Like, we've earned this and we've really, really grinded to get here. And it was a team effort. Even our manufacturer, like being a small family company, they really like rode the wave with us. Once we found them, they were so excited
They were
for
all
us. They were
in.
all in.
Yeah.
And we were at like our final deadline. I think we're having a launch party like the next day. So I was like, I need a trait now, like print it. So I think for me, it was more like relief. Like, we're here, we've
Yeah.
done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know when a product comes along that just changes the game? Well, if you're a stylist or you love great hair, you're going to want to hear this. Today's episode is brought to you by Jador Hair Supplies, and they've just launched the incredible Cane Vakai 7cm tape weft extensions. These extensions are designed to make every stylist's life easier. The 7cm tapes means faster installs, which mean less time in the chair and more money in your pocket. Whether you're doing a full transformation or quick infills, the wider tape gives you extra coverage and a beautifully seamless blend. And of course, quality is everything. The Cane Vakai range comes in 12 stunning colours and a luxurious 22 inches in length, giving you options for every client and every look. If you're ready to level up your installs and deliver flawless results with less effort, check out the new Cane Vakai 7cm tape weft extensions. Available now, exclusive at Jador Hair Supplies. Your clients will love them, and honestly, so will you. Head to trade.jadorhairsupplies.com.au, linked in our show notes. I think it's funny though, because I think going back to social media for a minute and that highlight reel, like everyone thinks like that moment when you see it or when it happens for the first time, like, yes, it's exciting, but often because you've been on the grind for so long, it can be like, it took a lot to actually get here,
Yeah, it's
you
almost like a
know?
sigh of relief, or like you're so exhausted that you're like
Let's
trying
get this
yeah,
out.
like even mustering up the energy to like be excited about it. I
Yeah.
remember at that time was just like it was hard.
Mm.
Yeah, and I wanted to be really excited about it, but I was also just like, "Oh, like, can we just get this out there
Yeah.
now?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially through all that product manufacturing and testing. I completely understand that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, what are some of those levers that you've used to really drive your product? Like you mentioned meta ads, you
Mhm,
talked about you've actually really enjoyed gifting some hairdressers out there in the community, in the industry that
mhm,
may not have necessarily made a purchase. You activated at Mainland yesterday.
mhm.
What are some of those other levers that you've been trialing or pushing to like really move the brand forward?
Yeah, so I think you touched on a lot of them. Like for us, community, number one, that's the
Yeah.
most important. So, yeah, gifting to people who are on the floor and really like going to use our product day in, day out. We love doing that. And um, meta ads has been a big one. We
Mm.
tapped into that probably 6 months ago was the first time that I started really using them, and
Mm.
they were really, really like, I would highly recommend it if you have it in your budget. It is life-changing, but it is an algorithm that you need to know how to use.
Mm.
I did not, so I did outsource that. And yeah,
But even
being
outsourcing, like just because you're outsourcing something doesn't mean you don't have to oversee
oh, yeah,
everything.
you still absolutely have to, like, have your hands on it still, have the
Yeah,
touch
you
point,
do.
but,
Yeah.
yeah, God, the back-end algorithm stuff is hard work with
Yeah.
that, but really beneficial if you can make it happen. And, yeah, showing up at events.
Mm.
We don't have a lot of them in the hair world, so if you can be there, you should be.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think as well, especially for your product, like being a base and product, I mean, it is just so important to activate in a way that your community can understand how the product comes to life.
Yeah.
in that space as well.
Yeah, and feeling it as well. I think for our product, we're made from a glass-filled nylon, so it's not actually just a generic PP plastic. It's actually, like, quite heavy when you hold it.
Mm.
So being able to
So it feels
feel the
premium.
quality is
Mm.
important as well. Like, you can't see that online.
Yeah.
So that is why it's important to activate if you can. It's a
Yeah.
privilege to be able to be invited, to be able to afford it.
Mm.
Not everyone can, and I totally get that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And what was that journey like when you first started kicking off Meta ads? Because it's so, I feel like when you think about socials, I think organic and paid
Mm,
media are two very different
different. Yeah.
beasts. And there's a lot of technical knowledge that goes behind launching ads and running ads as a
Mm,
product based business. Now, I know you mentioned that you outsourced, but even just knowing like how to start,
yeah.
like, do you know what I mean? Like who you want to outsource to and like getting your head around the metrics and the drivers around paid media, even though
Mhm.
you're outsourcing, like there's still a lot you need to be across. Like, how did you
Yeah.
find that experience as a product based
I
brand?
actually found it really challenging because the messaging and the content is really different as
Mm,
well. So, like you said, like organic, I it's really important for me to be myself, and that's why when I show my face on social media, it's me, it's
mm,
organically me. Um, I found it really, really hard to put my face behind Meta ads because it has to convert sales. So the messaging is much stronger,
mm,
and it didn't feel like me. So I did really struggle with it, but I wanted to lean in and take the direction of the people that I was hiring to do the job.
mm,
So yeah, it was definitely a very, very different experience in that term. Like your messaging has to be much stronger because they're only going to see it and they need to see it so
mm.
many times. So that message needs to hit like straight away
Yeah.
to convert. So, and
Did
when
you
I'm
do some
talking,
content with the Circles team for ads at one point?
yeah, so Circles uses our trays and
Mm.
actually, Charlene was one of our first customers,
Was
which was really
she?
awesome. Yeah.
Oh,
So she bought a bunch of our trays and then she came back and bought more, which was really lovely. So, again, that was a community opportunity to be like, you actually have used them for 18 months.
mm,
Would you help us with some content? So, which she was really, really, luckily, she was more than happy to do. Same with Jess.
mm.
Yeah, they're always so willing to. We're lucky in Perth. The community is always really, really happy to help out.
Yeah, I
Um,
loved that's so nice. I love to
that
hear that.
side felt a lot more organic,
Mm.
and I really
As
liked
in,
that.
like, because the messaging is so different for ads and paid media,
Yeah,
you feel like getting some content with a long-term customer to talk to the
yeah,
F&Bs or features and benefits for ads
yeah, that
was
aligned with me a lot more
mm,
because I like to lean into our community as opposed to me being front and center being like, "Sell, sell, sell, sell,
yeah,
sells."
yeah.
Like, that just didn't feel good to me, and I
Mm,
really struggled with it. So yeah, we pivoted a few times with that because I just I couldn't make myself
yeah.
do that. I found it really hard.
But that's really clever though,
Yeah.
because it's like you're self-aware, you understand,
Mm,
um your comfort level and you're like, right, this is what we need to hit for paid media for ads.
mm.
How are we going to execute in that way that it's going to perform?
Yeah, you have to find something that works for your brand, but also does actually convert. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause like you're putting spend behind it, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's big
Yeah.
money behind it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that's such a great story though, because you're not compromising like your own values as a
Yes.
founder, right?
Yeah.
But you're
Yeah.
still getting what you need to get done
Yeah. I mean,
to
you
grow the
try it.
business.
I
Mm,
mean, I never say no to anything without trying it first. So you try it. And if it just still doesn't feel right, I think back yourself and say, I'm not comfortable with that. I don't like it. It doesn't align with me,
mm,
and try something different.
yeah.
Why not?
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, can you believe we are already on to fast five lightning rounds?
Oh, rapid
I
fire.
know. Rapid fire.
We could
So I
just
always
stay up
get
all
to this
day, couldn't we?
point.
We could.
I always get to this point and I feel like we've been talking for 5 or 10 minutes, but it's not. It's been nearly an hour.
An hour?
Yeah. Um, so what's a myth about the industry you wish people would stop believing when it comes to hairdressing or being a product founder?
Okay, so I think a big myth in our industry is that it's like a bitchy industry or that we're dumb, that we're school dropouts. I did finish school at 15, but I went on to open my own businesses twice. So we're not dumb people.
Mm,
We're working with chemicals and
It's
science.
literally chemistry.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I just think
Color
like,
formulation.
why are we still saying that about hairdressers? And the other side, yeah, why are we still calling hairdressers a bitchy industry? Like we all back each other so hard,
Mm.
all of us. Like even you see it at these events like Mainland and our AHFAs, like everyone's just like so pumped for each other. And I'm sure there's like little bits of it here and there, but as a whole, like our industry is really beautiful and supportive of one another.
Mm.
So yeah, I think that narrative needs to go.
Needs to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. When I was in my 20s, I had this amazing, softly spoken mentor called Judy.
Yeah.
And she used to speak so softly, she almost whispered.
Oh, beautiful.
And she dropped this golden nugget on me when I was about 22, 23. And she said to me, the skills and achievements, the skills that got you to your current achievement or goal or
Mm.
milestone aren't the ones that are going to take you to the next goal
Yes.
or milestone.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
And I've never forgotten it. So I want to know from you right now, what's something you're letting go of and what's something that you're honing in on to try and get you to your next goal with
So
Attache?
I'm honing in on believing in myself and showing up for myself and my brand. And I'm letting go of the narrative that I'm not good enough and I won't succeed.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that so much. I just think you're so gorgeous. Like, it just kind of shocks me that you have that doubt. Like, you're obviously like very clever in going through such a long manufacturing period with Attache and, like spending the weekend with you. Yeah.
Yeah, there's still like this crazy blockage there, but I think you get that from like, yeah, long struggles with body image. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah. And I
it's
get
like,
that.
it,
Yeah.
it filters into everything.
Yeah.
And, I still have days where I see that girl from 6 years ago looking
Yeah.
back at me. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know that a lot of people don't see it, but especially people who've met me in the last few years would have no idea
Yeah.
of where I've come from. So, yeah, it's one of those things that's always just like at the back, just
Yeah.
knocking. But
And you just like go away.
yeah, yeah,
Go away.
love her, but like go away.
Move on.
Yeah.
Move on, babe. Move on. What's a decision you made that changed everything, but at the time didn't necessarily make sense to the people around you?
Okay, here's a hot piece that I've never spoken to ever.
Mm.
So here's a little, what's it called? Like a scoop. I got married very young and got divorced very quickly. And then I met my now wife quite quickly after that relationship ended. It was a 7-year relationship. And my family was like, and everyone, all my best friends were like, what is going on, girl? Like, you can't date another person, you can't get remarried, blah, blah, blah. And I just knew when I met Rebecca that she was my person and that she would drive me to like succeed and be great and believe in myself. And I mean, she has. We've been together for 5 years. She's been an imperative part of my journey.
Yeah.
And I really, really had to go against the grain of what everyone around me thought and their opinions. And we did get married. We have a beautiful home. We've got pets. We've got everything. We've got business. And yeah, that narrative, it was like a horrendous feeling to get married and divorced like so young and then try to tell yourself and tell everyone around you that you're allowed to do it again.
Quick shout out to something I actually use every day at the Beauty Grail, the 270X Creator Tools from FK. The viral MagSafe snap stand is my absolute go-to. My phone just clicks on and I've instantly got the perfect angle. It's compact, reliable, and it honestly comes everywhere with me. The wireless mics are super clean and an absolute must-have. And the vlog screen, genuinely game-changing. It sticks to the back of your phone so you can use your back camera and still see yourself, which means way better video quality without the guesswork. If you're creating content for your business, this tech makes everything faster, easier, and your videos look so much more professional. And because you're listening, FK is giving you 15% off. Just head to phoneking.com.au and use the code BEAUTY15. I actually love this stuff. It just makes filming simple. All details linked in our show notes. So interesting. I have so much respect for people that I meet that are couples that work together. Because, being married and being in long-term relationships, they require a lot of work. So when I meet people that also then work together or have a business together,
Yeah.
and they're in a relationship or they're married or whatnot, I'm just like, I am just blown away, and I have so much respect for people that can do that because it's, yeah,
It's a
just
fine dance.
it is
Yeah.
such a fine
Yeah.
dance. So how do you manage that?
We have our lanes. We have
Yeah.
our lanes. So I deal with all of our customers and all the communication, and
Mm.
Rebecca deals a lot more with the manufacturers in the back end.
Yeah.
So she does a lot of like our packing, our product checking, development,
Mm.
and I do a lot more of like the creative, the social, and the people.
Yeah.
Beck's like like Navy. So she was in the Navy for 14 years. So she is so like black and white, logistical, not customer service based at all. I love bringing to her events. She's just a hoot and she just thinks it's wild. But
That hedges like the community as well. Yeah.
And she just like lets her hair down and gets all up in it.
Oh, I
But
love.
yeah, so we have our lanes and
Mm.
we rarely cross over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're lucky. We work really well together and we have our strengths and we've just leaned into them. But I can imagine how difficult it could get if you didn't have your departments.
Yeah, I feel like there's a really high level of self and relationship dynamic that's required to be able to do that very successfully for both parties.
Yeah, for sure. And Beck is beautiful. Like she's like, this is your baby. This is your area and this is your dream. So she's very much like, let me tell me how I can support you and I'll do so.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, really lucky.
She sounds amazing. I would have loved to have had her on here as well.
Well, maybe one day, babe.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll do a part 2.
Yeah. What's a standard in your life or career that is now non-negotiable? I feel like I know the answer to this.
This is my social media, my
Yes.
my boundaries.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely the boundaries.
Do you think this is a forever boundary?
Yeah, it has to stay, like for sure.
Mm.
And whether I get more like lenient with the times of it or I get stronger with the times of it, I don't know. But for me, yeah, the boundaries have to stay for sure. For sure. I have to put them in place to sustain the level at which I'm working. So
yeah, I totally get that. What's a piece of tech or AI that you're really leaning into at the moment? I mean, I feel like people are talking about tech and AI more than ever across every industry.
Yeah.
Right now, what's something that is kind of been quite game changing you for with Attache?
Yeah, so with Attache, definitely the meta ads has been a big one. And then like all your, Claude's, ChatGPT, stuff like that are fantastic for like building your brand's like foundations. Like I said, it's really important that I keep my tone of voice and make sure things are me. So I don't use it for communication. With
you like that
customers.
personal touch.
Yeah, but more so like building your brand story, and sometimes you need a reminder of what your brand story is. So it's really good if you've built that sort of like AI relationship with Chat or Claude to be like, hey, I'm a bit lost here. What is it? What am I trying to deliver? And it's like, well, your brand story is this. This is what you like to do, blah, blah, blah. So maybe you need to go that route. Sometimes it's good to just have like a non-biased opinion to bounce off.
I don't find Chat very non-biased though.
Yeah, I know. Chat it's hit and miss, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not a big AI user, but it's definitely something that's there and you have to learn. And I guess we all can take little pieces of it. We're comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, final question. What's the next audacious goal you're working on right now for Attache?
Oh, babe, to be in every salon in Australia.
Oh, I love that.
Obviously.
I mean, how many every salon in Australia. Let's just think about those numbers. Like, I wouldn't even know.
I think I Googled it a few years ago and it said like there's 26,000 hair salons in Australia. So you can imagine now. And within those salons are multiple small businesses in some cases, like if you're in a freelance space. So it's audacious.
26,000.
Yeah.
When you're
first big industry.
Yeah, I think people underestimate it. And I remember when I was doing my own research for the Beauty Girl, and it's like all you need to do is walk down the street and count how many hairdressing salons there are.
Yeah.
Whether that's in a shopping centre, whether that's in a strip mall, like a prime or retail area. Like it's not.
We're not sparse. No. Yeah. So, and that's why I just think there's going back to your myth busting. There's no reason for us to be bitchy in this industry because
there's room
for everyone.
Yeah.
And how many people do we have in Australia
that need their hair done?
That need their hair done.
Yeah.
God, it's huge.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, babe, thank you so much.
Thank you. What a pleasure.
What a pleasure having you over here from Perth. I've actually absolutely loved chatting with you today, and we have linked all of your handles and details for Attache in the show notes.
Thanks, babe. Thanks for having me.